Uh-oh.
Oh no, it's happening. It's all
Oh,
real.
hello.
Hello, how was work this weekend?
Oh, it was okay. Started out busy, ended up slow. Same asses, you know what I mean?
Wait, what happened with the fight you were in the other day?
Oh, yeah, it was a wedding party. Can you believe it?
Yep.
I can believe that. Yeah.
Her dress. And I don't know, they were being jerks. They didn't have any money, and I had to throw them out. And then they started punching me on the way out. So it turned into a call. And then we kicked them out one door. And then when I had to lock the door because it was almost last call anyway. So I went to the other door and they kicked the door and grabbed me and pulled me outside and started beating me up.
Holy shit.
Are you okay?
I said, yeah, but I couldn't eat for like 4 or 5. I eat cake. I ate cake for like 4 days until my jaw went down.
Oh, buddy, I'm so sorry.
Jesus.
I got the least of the damage.
Yeah, I bet.
It was
Good
I
Christ.
haven't had a good butt kicking in a while, so I guess it was about time.
So yeah, it was good. It was good practice. Do you see those guys that were in there that one night or last night there? I can't remember. Drago or whatever.
Draco and Ivan.
The Serbian.
Were they Serbian?
Yeah, the real tall guy, bald.
Yeah, the one who kept one of them kept trying to grab your ass, and the other one really wanted to show Lauren his cool car.
Yeah, he does have a weird car. I peed on it.
Good. It looks like a dick. Because Lauren wouldn't see it, but I was like, "Fuck this!
I was
I
like,
want to
fuck
see
you
your
guys. I'm not going
expensive,
outside with you.
expensive bougie fucking car." I was like, "Just don't rape me in the alley."
Thought I took, but I guess I didn't. But yeah, he tried to start a fight with me one night too, and then he's just very bizarre, that guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's strange. I mean, he was like basically like, get in the car, we're going to my house. We're like, no.
He's like, "No, it's right near your hotel. The views of the city are beautiful. Also, here's my driver's license." I don't know why he wanted to show us that.
He wanted to show his name was real or something.
Oh, he's legit.
Yeah, he's legit. He's real.
He has a driver. Okay.
Very big deal.
Then every so often, he's weird and kind of weird. You know what I mean? He's very touchy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Even with he's weird. I don't know. There's so many weirdos that come in there. It's really you guys would have to come in again to really.
We'll be back.
We'll be back.
Yeah.
That was one of our favorite places.
What did you guys do? Anything exciting?
Let's see. We went kayaking.
Yeah, took some river floating.
Yeah.
And you guys live there. You guys are always doing something awesome.
You know, that's the only good thing about the place that we live is there's a bunch of cool outdoor activities. The bars suck, the food sucks, the people almost universally suck, but the outdoors is very pretty.
Yeah.
So there's that.
I'm living vicariously through you.
Well,
Yes.
it's her birthday tomorrow, so hopefully we're gonna have some more.
Who's
I'm gonna be all of 32.
32. Get the fuck out, man. Are you excited?
Super pumped. I'm hoping it'll be the first birthday I don't cry.
Oh, don't cry. My cat is right, so you can see.
Ah, kitty.
What's your cat's name?
Jerk face.
Jerkface. That's good.
That's pretty perfect.
He is a jerk. Why do you cry on your birthday?
Usually it's because I just decide that no one has made me feel special enough. I've usually not been given gifts by the people who I want to give me gifts. It's really self-indulgent. Like it's not good behavior. But I'm like, no one really thinks I'm important or special today. So I think I'm gonna cry about it. Drink a lot of alcohol because I'm sad.
That's me every day.
Hope you make you a good birthday tomorrow.
I wish I knew. I would have sent you something special.
Well, special enough to see your face right now. We've missed you a lot.
I know. We really have.
Thank you. How's your one friend doing?
One friend.
Jeff?
Long-haired guy, yeah.
Oh,
Is that his name? Jeff?
Yeah, Jeff.
He lives in Chicago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he lives in like the suburbs outside. He hangs out like in the market a lot. Like on weekends and such.
Yeah, we met him randomly in Ecuador at a hostel, him and a bunch of people, and just kind of kept in contact.
You guys ever thought about writing a book?
Yep, that's the next move.
You need to write a book. I feel like you've had some.
I've written 2.
Have you really?
Yes, they're on Amazon.
Well, you're gonna have to send them to us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wait, so, okay, where have you traveled to? Doesn't have to be out of the country, just anywhere that had a strange instance or.
Well, I went to Amsterdam once
Go on.
and been to Jamaica, Canada, nothing super exciting, just around the States.
Hmm.
You know,
What was Amsterdam like?
Amsterdam was nuts. Have you been there?
No, but we want to go.
Yep.
It's awesome. I went by myself
Oh shit.
because I had a voucher that I had to use, and my original plan was to go to Miami,
Hmm.
but the airfare to Amsterdam was cheaper than flying to Miami, so I went. Fuck it, I'm gonna go to Amsterdam. You know, I always wanted to go, and I was dating this girl that I wasn't happy with, so I figured this would be a good excuse to me to get out of, you know,
Okay.
you know what I mean?
Yep.
A pot smoker
Yep.
and not a partaker of prostitution,
Mhm.
which, but it's, you don't even, it doesn't matter. You don't, I mean, it was awesome regardless, you know, I had a
Yeah.
great, it's definitely an eye opener. I mean, there are prostitutes everywhere out there, you know. For some reason, I thought it was going to be like 2 blocks, but it's literally thousands of storefronts with prostitutes.
Wow.
Couldn't believe it. Like the oldest church in Amsterdam from like the 1600s, and literally right next door and across the street are prostitution booths. That would never fly in the United States. You know what I mean?
No, we're too
Nuns.
verklempt for it.
Yeah, that's
Oh my God, can you believe it? And
No.
then they have these awesome public bathrooms that are they're like stand-up bathrooms, urinals, and they feed directly into the canals. But it's really a good idea to stop people from peeing because there's so many wasted people there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's true.
And I was excited because I was, for some reason, I was really into. I wanted to see a live sex show.
Yep.
Yes.
And I saw that and was very disappointed.
Really?
It was
Why?
not. I don't know. It was. They were attractive,
Hmm.
and it just seemed like to them it was like a job.
Wow.
I mean, it kind of is a job.
Yes, it is. Right. Probably, yeah, it is. It is their job. But there was no passion. I don't know what I wanted really. I don't.
A
I was
little light behind the eyes. There's some excitement there. It's, you know, it's like,
very. Yeah, it was like a machine. Like they seem really bored by it. I think, and
sounds like bad strippers, kind of along the same lines. Like, you
yeah,
know, it's performative. Do what you got to do to make the paycheck, but you know, you want to see a
I
spark.
I did have an interesting story with. Do you guys like mushrooms at all? Do you ever
Yeah.
eat mushrooms? I'm a big fan of mushrooms, and that's how for like when I went through college, pretty much selling mushrooms and eating tons of mushrooms. You know,
Nice.
so I was pretty. I was in a funk. The night before, I had eaten some, took some mescaline, and
Mm.
it really kind of bummed me out. You know, I just got a bad, like a bummer trip. I think I was thinking too much of what was going on with this girl, and I'm like, man, I just ruined my whole trip to Amsterdam. And I'm bummed out. And it was my last night, and I thought, well, I know what I'll do to cheer me up. I'll do some mushrooms.
Mhm.
So I went and I bought some. I went to the little shops there, and they didn't have mushrooms. They had psychedelic truffles,
Ooh.
which I don't know. I've never really at that point I'd never really seen a truffle before. You know, I knew they're kind of like a mushroom.
Mhm.
So, you know, they have peyote, they have all kinds of shit that they sell in these stores. It's really cool.
It's completely legal.
Totally legal. Yeah, 100%.
I love
And
that.
I was asked, you know, I'm like, how long? I really wanted to try peyote. I'm like, how long is a peyote trip? And he's like, 3 days. I'm like, no, I can't do that because I'm going to be flying the next morning, you know.
Fuck that. I can't do
Don't
that.
want to be on an airplane 12 hours on peyote, you know, in a little metal silk, God forbid. So I'm like, oh, I'll try these truffles. You know, I know mushrooms. I've done them so much. And so I get these truffles, and it comes with this big sheet of paper with the Latin name and all kinds of shit. And then it has a, you know, what to expect from your trip, you know, like a brochure kind of a thing. And I don't need to read this. I'm a fucking mushroom master. I don't, who needs it? So I ate them, and they look like little golf balls, kind of.
Cute.
Like, yeah, very weird. And you know, nothing happened, you know, 40 minutes or something like that. And I went down and left my apartment or my hotel room, and I went to change the money in, and I gave the lady the money. And while I'm waiting for her to give me the guilders, they kicked in, and I was like, oh man, all right, here we go, you know. And I got so high, I walked halfway to Belgium. I was so high. I was like, I gotta get out of here. The red light is scaring me, and I'd walk really fast. I walked so far, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I feel better. Feel better. I can go back now. And I'd walk back. And as soon as I'd hit the red light district, all the freakiness would. It was a terrible trip. Terrible,
Oh,
terrible. I called home. I called my girlfriend at the time, and she had told me like, don't do anything stupid in Amsterdam. I'm like, I'm dumb. You know, I don't even smoke pot. Get out of here. And I called her up, and it was like 1 a.m. here. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I freaked out. And she starts screaming at me, which made
oh,
it worse, right? So
no.
I gotta go. I gotta go. You don't understand me. And I hung up the phone. I walked for like 7 hours. I walked all over Amsterdam.
Holy shit.
I saw some really fucked up shit,
Like
but
what?
I'm sure it was just weird shit because you're on mushrooms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Walking down the street and I saw this. I heard this cackling laughter. And there was nobody out. It was just me on this street, and there was a canal. And then across from the canal was this old Gothic church right out of a Dracula movie. It was so cool. And I heard this lady was laughing and having a conversation with somebody. And I looked over and she was by herself. And I was like, she's really fucked up. And I'm like, that made me feel good that I knew that she was fucked up. So I knew I had a little bit better. You know what I mean? It was
As if someone's more fucked up than you.
It's like
Yeah.
camaraderie.
right. And then
Church
I walked
camaraderie.
on, I was walking down another street and I came to a street and there was both sides of the street were lined with hundreds of bicycles. Nobody was on the streets, and there was a wire going from one end of the street to the other, and hanging from the wire was a neon sign that said help. And I was like, what the fuck? And here I was totally freaked out. I was like, is that for me? Is that even real? Like, I know what the fuck was going on? Anyway, I started to come down and I got back to my room. I'm like, where's that fucking sheet of paper with the dosage and stuff on there?
Instructions you didn't
The
read.
instructions, right? Yeah. So I was like, a usual dose of mushrooms, like for a trip with me, would be 1 gram. You know what I mean? That was always a good trip. I think one time at a Grateful Dead show, I ate 7 grams, and I thought I saw a UFO, and I had to leave. I got freaked out. I saw a UFO in the middle of an indoor arena. I thought the soundboard do a UFO. Yeah.
A lot of
So
fucking things, but-
I get directions, and instead of 1 gram, I ate 37.
Jesus Christ.
No.
I ate over an ounce. Yeah, I was.
You were trying to just see Jesus that night.
Yeah, I kind of Sid Barretted myself from Pink Floyd, but I was fucked up for like 6 months afterwards. I was like just a mess. It really fucked with my head, you know.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah.
I had to like really. I questioned, everything was like, what am I doing with my life? I had to, like,
An awakening, or was it
sort of, but it was more of a bummer.
existential?
It was an awakening that I was in a terrible spot.
Mhm.
So I felt terrible about everything, and I got bummed out. I was bummed out.
Mhm.
Took me a long time to get out of it,
Yeah.
but
That's fucking
it's a
rough.
great story. You know what I mean?
We talk. Let's see. Ayahuasca. We talked to some people who've done ayahuasca.
That's on my list, and actually, I got offered to do that with a friend of mine. There was a shaman in town from the Amazon,
Huh?
and I got offered, and I was afraid to say yes because of my last trip in Amsterdam was still freaked me. I'm still afraid. Like, I'm afraid to even go near that stuff anymore. You know what I mean?
I mean, ayahuasca too will apparently make you shit your pants and vomit.
Yeah.
And
I
maybe
feel like
it'll-
you have to shit yourself and vomit in order to like.
Yeah.
it make you vomit
That's how it's-
before the whole
yeah.
thing starts. Like, it just, I don't know. We talked to a couple people in Ecuador because there
They're
was
like, no.
some people did like
Not
ayahuasca
like it.
ceremonies. I think actually our friend Jeff had done like a mushroom ceremony, which
Uh-huh.
I think you take like 4 grams of mushrooms and it's this whole guided thing, which that apparently was
Four is nothing. Try 37.
fuck. Yeah, I don't think I will. That sounds fucking horrible.
Go ahead.
But yeah, the ayahuasca just sounds like a little too much.
Yeah.
Too much.
I got dosed at a Burger King a couple of years ago.
What?
Yeah. This is an interesting story. I had to go to work, and I was really hungry, and I'm like, I got to eat something before work. So there was a Burger King behind my apartment, and I ordered just one burger and a Coke And it took, I'm not joking, over a half hour to get my burger and a Coke. I'm like, what the fuck are those guys doing? So I finally get it and I had to leave. So I'm eating, walking down the alley and I took a couple bites of my burger. I'm like, this tastes like shit. I like tasted wrong. So I threw it away, had my Coke and stuff like that. And I called my Uber to go to work. And I'm halfway to work in my Uber and I'm sitting, in the back seat and I'm looking, all of a sudden I'm like, man, this guy's pattern on this guy's fabric is really interesting, and I'm like, wow, that's really cool. And I didn't realize it. And by the time I got out of the Uber, I was like, what the fuck is going on, And I started to get really paranoid and I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. And about 10 minutes later, I'm like, oh, I know this feeling. I go, I'm fucking tripping right now. Like, what the? So I was at work tripping.
That sounds like a nightmare.
Why do you think? Why did someone dosed your burger? Do you think they were just like for shits and giggles?
No, I think I got the wrong.
Oh,
That's what I think. I figure out, and when I tell this story to thinks I'm crazy because who's going to get dosed at Burger King, but I did, and I don't know why I did, but I haven't been to Burger King since.
I've heard that people sell there's some employees that will sell drugs out of fast food restaurants. I always see.
There was a Wendy's over here that you could order a coffee with extra sugar and you get Coke and you could put it on your credit card. They had a whole scam going. This was back in the early 90s,
Yeah, so, that's clever.
That was very clever. Did you partake in that?
I did not. I'm not a fan of that stuff really. People get a little annoying.
People get annoying and aggro. Yeah.
Right. I think it's just from bartending. You have to deal with so many people that that used to do that kind of stuff. So I just kind of get turned off on it. It's not make you sexy.
No, and it makes your dick broken more often than not, which is just disappointing as the opposite gender who would like those dicks to work. Yeah,
I have problems with that. I don't need any help. just kidding. Just kidding.
They make
that was like a horse.
That was a joke.
Wait,
back to that. Wait, did you? Okay, so you did go to a prostitute in Amsterdam?
I did not go to a prostitute.
You didn't go?
I don't like that kind of stuff.
Oh, you don't like
it? Like prostitutes or strip clubs. I'm not a fan. I just don't. I feel it's too fake. Like there's no out of someone actually liking me.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're not gonna like you. Yeah, it's.
I do always love the men at strip clubs because we used to bartend next to a place like the one strip club in Southern Oregon. The bar that we worked at together was literally shared a wall with, and it was always funny because I hang out there pretty often. But the guys who would go in and just dump buckets of money, think that they were special and that they were important.
Right.
Or the ones who, even better, the ones who didn't dump buckets of money but paid for one lap dance and were like, no, she's super into me. I was like, bro, that's her fucking job. She doesn't give a shit about you.
Right.
They would come in and get like a pre-work drink and then we tell us what happened last night. What happened? They're like, oh, sucker.
Yeah. And they really don't. I mean, they have a lot of anger, When that, I mean, can you imagine? That would be rough. You know what I mean? Having to pretend you like someone that's like really gross. Like think of all the smelly people you would have to deal with.
And you just have to do it.
I mean, and bartending is sometimes bad enough.
That's true.
We have the
protection of the bar in front of us.
We have the option to kind of walk away.
That's a big thing. If I don't have if I go to a party or something like that, I'm pretty quiet. But if I'm at the bar and I have a piece of wood, I could talk to anybody. But
dude, there's magic there. There's fucking magic.
Sure.
It's like, I remember like when I would walk into work, I would not make eye contact with anyone until I got behind the bar and I was like, okay.
And hello.
Like, or when you have to go to the bathroom and you have to mingle with the crowd, like, and then you.
First.
They catch you coming out of the bathroom like a real human being. You're like, no, don't think of me this way.
They're like, I've been waiting for this moment.
Or if you see like a regular out somewhere where you're out to dinner or something, and hey, and you're like, yeah, okay.
Or you're grocery shopping and you're like, I don't know you right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was bartending in New Orleans, I went out one night and one of the regulars was out and he picked me up and dropped me on my face and I broke my teeth.
On purpose, he did that?
No, he was like just trying to be flirty, but I was like put me down and he's dropped me on my face. And that was
God.
right when I got to the bar and he broke my teeth, broke my front teeth.
Where did you bartend in New Orleans?
I bartended at a few places.
Did you ever work in
And where?
the
The
dungeon?
No, but I loved the dungeon. I went there all
Isn't
the
that-
time. Yeah.
Wasn't that a
Dungeon
great
was my
bar?
favorite bar. Yeah.
I loved it. I went there when I was 18 and I was like, oh my God, I want to live here.
It's like a heavy metal bar. It's like really dark on the
Oh.
inside. They have cool fish tanks that are.
Now, isn't the dungeon, do you know the story behind that? Is that true that it's in that house where they had found all those people?
Oh,
Uh,
I'm getting the stories. Dungeons off of Royal, I think. What's the other heavy metal bar there that's more downtown?
I don't know. The dungeon's the one where you have to walk down. It's behind a bar. It's behind another building. You have to walk down a gangplank, like
That's
a
in
walk.
Frenchman Street. Oh no, yeah. Okay, I'm just trying to make sure. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
dungeon. What did you hear about it?
That there's a story with New Orleans with some woman or he
Oh,
was
she
was-
hurt all her slaves and
Yeah.
no, that's not the building.
is it the one where the guy was he was an Arab prince or something like that?
Did
Yeah.
you go on a haunted history tour?
No, but I like a lot of that stuff. I lived in a haunted while, so it was
I went on one of those tours. I don't know if that's the specific one. If you are ever in New Orleans, you should go on one of those tours because it's really fascinating. But I don't think that was the building either. But I know which I went on one. My buddy was doing them for a while.
Do you know the story
They're
that
all
I'm
apartments now. They're all like broken up into apartments. These like horrible places where these horrific things happen.
Did you hear about the one the guy that cooked his girlfriend in the stove?
Oh, that's fun.
I don't know.
There were two bartenders down there, and they stayed down there during Katrina, and they were living together. And the guy snapped and killed a girl and cooked her in the stove or something.
I don't know about that one, but I'm sure
Uh,
it's true.
I'll send you the link to that when
Send
we
me
get
the
done.
link to it.
Please
If you
do.
like haunted stuff. Every year for my birthday for a long time, I would go to the most haunted places and like bed and breakfasts in New Orleans or outside of it and stay
Yeah.
by myself. And I never got haunted.
What?
I think I just want it so bad that nothing will ever haunt
The
me.
spirits
They're
can
like,
sense that she's too
This bitch
thirsty.
is desperate. It's not gonna happen.
They're like, she's not worth it. She's too excited.
I lived in a haunted apartment once.
You lived in a haunted apartment?
What happened?
Okay.
I did, and I worked in a couple haunted bars.
Tell us.
But the apartment was pretty bizarre. It was like a legit. This is everyone. You know, I used to tell people, and they all thought I was making it up, but I'm not making it up. It's totally true. The walls would leak. This oily substance. We couldn't figure out where it was coming from. We're like, why is it leaking? It was weird. It was like it felt like oil, you know,
Oh, God.
and it was a brown substance. And then had done some construction before we moved into the apartment. They made our apartment a duplex, so they connected our place to the basement, and every once in a while the entire place would fill up with roses, the smell of flowers.
Oh.
And I was dating this girl who she wasn't really nice to me, you know what I mean? And she was turned out to be a jerk, but we would fight a lot. And so a lot of stuff seemed directed at her, you know. But one time we were downstairs and had the barbecue going and stuff like that, and we heard I had a dog and she had a dog, and they were upstairs. We heard them go crazy, snarling, and we thought they were fighting. So she went upstairs and I stayed downstairs, and she came back down, and her eyes were really big. She goes, "You got to come upstairs." I'm like, "Oh my God, what happened?" And she goes, "Go in the bedroom." And I go in the bedroom, and her dresser is pulled out from the wall, and there's this stuff that look on the floor. It looks like dried blood. It was, but I had to scrub it to get it off. And I'm like, "What, were the dogs fighting?" She's like, "No, the dogs are fine." And her dresser weighed about 150 pounds. And I thought maybe somebody tried to climb in through the window and grabbed onto her dresser, and the dogs bit them. That's what I originally. But then all the windows were locked. They were closed. And all the stuff on top of her dresser was turned upside down.
Oh
That's
no.
weird. And then sometimes my dog would just stand and stare at the corner and growl for no reason. And what else happened? There was another time where she got up from bed and went into the shower. When she came out, her dresser was pulled out again and everything was turned upside down on it. But nothing was messed with mine. It was all her stuff that things were problems for, right?
Interesting.
Yeah. And then one day we were going to leave and the cabinets flew open and all the dishes flew out all over the place. She had just bought,
poltergeist.
Wait, you like literally watched the dishes fly out of the cabinets?
she had just bought it. She had just bought this dish set that she was super proud of. And she had spent so much money on all these dishes and the thing flew open and they all shot out. Now my apartment was a brothel a long time ago.
I was gonna ask.
So I think maybe it was an old prostitute and maybe she saw us fighting all the time. And she was mad at her because she was so mean to me that she decided to fuck with her all the time.
I like that theory.
It was weird. It was very weird. Like the smell, was freaky.
That's
you know?
fascinating.
I never put everything together until right before I moved out. Like, the oil on the wall and then all this weird shit, But I would tell people and they all thought, oh, you're nuts. I'm like, I'm not nuts.
No,
It's real
it's real.
like things,
I like that you have like a guardian angel, like horror.
I did. Yeah. Right.
She's like, no one's
we
being
gotta
mean
bring
to
it all
you.
back to the
No, Tony, you were too nice.
That's awesome.
Right.
Did you ever feel like scared too? When it
No, that's the weird thing about
that's interesting.
never scared by it at all. It was
But
all
she was.
towards her. Yeah. It's very, and then I, for a while, I drove a cab for a little bit and I had picked up somebody and I had to drop them off at that same building years turned into condos. And I said, she was going into my old apartment. Her friends live there now. You ever say anything about it being haunted? She's like, no. Why? And I told her the story. She's like, I gotta talk to her and find out what's going on, So I told her, I wonder if maybe it was just because, they say when you do home remodeling and stuff, it stirs things up. So I thought maybe because they had done work in my apartment that it had stirred something up,
My dad was a general contractor and he used to work on these old, I'm from Tennessee, grew up on Signal Mountain. He's worked on these old Civil War houses. So
Oh yeah.
mansions in the brow. And he had a couple of pictures that are weird. You can't find them, but there's one where he's taking a picture with his digital camera and it's just like this form that
Oh really?
like a woman, like a plantation style
Ugh.
outfit.
Yeah.
He never felt anything when he was there, but he took a picture. It's really weird.
Yeah, I hope you can find that. That sounds fascinating.
I would love to do that, but then I would be afraid of what if they follow me home or something,
Yep, because they could do that.
Then you call Lauren Holton. He's really desperate to get haunted.
That's right.
Be like,
Here's my address.
crazy. Yeah, exactly.
Be like, go find her in Ashland. She
Make a
really
business
wants
of
you.
that, just like clear.
Are you guys roommates?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Are you guys sitting next to each other or is it a split screen?
Oh no, we're together.
Oh, hi. There we go. Very nice. When I was driving a cab, my second week driving a cab, I picked up this guy at a Union Station. He was in a 3-piece suit and he was going to a work dinner, not far, in Little Italy. So we started talking away and he, everyone always asks why you're driving a cab, blah, blah, blah. And we started talking about stuff. And I told him I used to be a bartender and he was asking me about this place that used to have fetish night. Once a month, they had a fetish night.
Uh-huh.
I said, oh yeah, I think that place is closed, and he started talking about fetishes and, oh, what do you think that's all about? And I said, I don't know, And as we get closer to the place, he says, listen, this is going to sound weird, but if I give you $20, will you let me smell your feet for 2 minutes? And I said, what? He goes, I'm not going to touch you. It's not sexual. I just want to smell your feet. You could put them through the little vent. The cab has the partition with the little box. He goes, you just put them up there and I'll smell them. I won't touch you. I promise I won't do anything. I like to smell people's feet. And I was like, man, I don't feel right about that, And he's like, how about $50? And I was like, yeah, nah. He goes,
Driving up the price.
just for 2 minutes, right? Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And he was really trying to give me the hard sell on smelling my feet,
Yeah.
I really don't feel comfortable with that. I go, to be honest with you, I haven't I haven't showered or done laundry in, a while. And he goes, even better. And I'm like, then I got freaked out about it. I'm like, no, no, no. He goes, well, let me ask you this. He goes, so what kind of shoes are you wearing right now? And I said, oh, I have engineer boots on. He goes, oh. And I'm like, oh. He goes, well, I live up by Wrigley Field. Here's my name, my number. Call me if you ever drop somebody off up there. Call me. I'll run down. I'll smell your feet for 2 minutes. I'll give you $20. That's a good way to make $20. You'd have to drive your cab for a while to make $20, wouldn't you? I'm like, yeah, probably. He goes, okay, just give me a call. And I was like, okay, thanks. And he got out of the car. I was like, what the fuck did I just get myself?
That's my dream come true. I worked with this girl this guy came in and asked, he was like, can I give you $300 for your dirty, stinky sneakers? And she was like, yep. I was like, what? My feet are terrible. They're gross.
Lauren does have garbage feet.
They are garbage feet.
You need to go into a niche porn market for just.
I think it's oversaturated now.
I mean, we don't know until we try.
But
what's wrong with your feet?
They're stinky.
She's
just
got
a thing.
little toe.
When I get
beans,
anxiety,
smell
like
bad.
my feet sweat, my hands sweat.
She gets weird feet sweats.
Yeah.
The skin peels off, but then hardens up.
Oh my gosh.
I'm fascinated by fantasies. There's this recent one we found called it's called like
Biscuit crunching.
Biscuit crunching, where you just it's just you stepping on like crackers or a biscuit.
What?
Yeah.
It's a whole
And
thing.
people love it.
I was at the
You don't have to show
Smithsonian.
your face.
What's that?
I said you don't have to show your face. You can just like step
Oh,
on
that's easy. I was at the Smithsonian once, and they had an exhibit of just a looped videotape of a woman sucking her own toes at the Smithsonian.
Was it like a fetish exhibit or?
It was just like no, it was just in a room with a bunch of other stuff, and just in a corner was a monitor with a woman sucking her own toes. And I'm like, that's fucking in the Smithsonian. I could fucking do that,
Yeah, exactly.
That's what
Yeah.
they're calling art now. Jesus Christ.
right? Or like there's
Let's all go into business together.
Yeah.
Right. I had another guy wanted me to. He told me he was doing a art project, he's an artist and he's doing for an art exhibit. He wanted me to squeeze a balloon till it popped, and he videotaped me.
That's my favorite. Balloon pumping.
Really?
We have a video of me
That was
sitting on
our
a balloon.
first TikToks ever.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's so funny to me, but I get it. But yeah, it's fascinating. I
Whole
would.
thing?
Yeah, it's a whole
It's a
thing.
whole
It's a
thing.
whole thing. I looked it
Literally.
up. I was like, I'll sit on a balloon for money, but like,
Yeah.
it's oversaturated.
It's out. Is it really? I mean, I don't know. There's a video of me out there somewhere popping a balloon in my cab. You know what I mean?
Ooh,
But
you need to get paid for that shit, son.
Big
Hey,
boy. Yeah.
let's-
Look it up on the internet. It's like balloon popping, it's like biscuit crunching.
Mhm.
There's some other
Cigarette-
funny ones.
There's cigarette smoking.
Maybe. I mean,
Oh, I'm sure.
There's,
yeah, there's one for smelling farts. That's one.
there's what?
There's a fart smelling fetish.
Come on now.
I'd be really good at that. Not
What the
smelling.
Sitting on
There's,
things, not just sitting on
Nylons, right?
Yeah.
There's a
pastries.
smoking
Oh, yeah.
or something. Ball crunching. We all know about the ball crunching.
Oh, for sure. That, I mean, isn't that
What
every
is
woman's
that?
dream?
Oh,
Fucking stepping on dudes' balls, or just
Oh,
like
that's
high heels with
terrible.
with like the stilettos and crunching them.
it's a little dark in some ways.
That's painful.
Dude, I just got on this. So I've been on a lot of dating apps, and
This is funny.
there's sort of tiers of them. There's the Tinder, there's Hinge, there's Bumble. Kind of the bottom tier I've learned is called Plenty of Fish, and the shit I have been offered on there. Like,
It's like a prostitution link.
some guy offered me 10 grand to hang out with him, and I was like, what's involved? He's like, I just want to kiss you, massage you, and talk to you. All right, that's different. Someone else wanted to like bang in a bush for $300.
Well, when she told me the 10 grand thing, I was like, do it. She's like, no, this guy doesn't look
This
10
guy
grand.
does not have 10 grand. He has fewer teeth than he has.
Right. You never come home.
Yeah, but there was one who just randomly was like, hey, you want to make $100? I was like, all right, what do I gotta do? He's like, I just want phone sex for 10 minutes. It's like, okay.
Kalia came and she was like, this guy wants to. I was like, do it, totally do it, but let's look him up. Let's look at the ramifications.
So I was like, give me 30 minutes. So did our due diligence, found
We
out it's not
scoured the
illegal.
internet.
Yeah, we like looked up, like found like Reddit threads with like lawyers saying like, actually, no, this is not, this is all legal and above board. And if it's not, people really prosecute for it. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. This guy sent me his phone number. I know he's in Redding, California.
Have
I
you
know the
looked him
name of
up?
his mother and sisters because you
Mhm.
can find out anything on Google.
You know what he looked like?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
he had a profile picture. So we were
Did.
like, we just want to make sure it was like legit. And I was like, ask the money for upfront.
I was
Yeah.
like, all right, 50 right now, 50 afterwards.
She was like, he sent it. I was like, get after it, I guess.
He said,
Go have your phone sex for me.
why not?
I mean, honestly, it was like 18 minutes of just fucking.
8 minutes.
I mean, I gave him more
What
than
the hell?
he was paying for. It didn't
You
seem like that long.
gave-
Huh?
You gave him foreplay and everything?
Oh, it was filthy, baby. I tell you
She's
what.
Oh my-
super creative. So it's, it's just like her, like, yeah, you're super great. I was in the other room, like watching Real Housewives or something.
Oh, and the funnest part was the last like 6 minutes of this interaction was him telling me about how he knows someone else whose name is either Kalua or Kalia, he didn't specify, but that she wasn't into him and she actually started dating or banging her cousin. And I was like, okay, this has been fun. I gotta go now.
Yeah, he wanted to talk to you. So
They're like, sweetie, your time is up.
and then he sent the $100 in 18 minutes.
Did you ever hear from him again?
Oh, sure did.
Should have blocked him.
Yeah, he then hit me up the next day and was like, oh, baby, I need you, blah, blah, blah. But I can only pay $50 this time.
She was like, nope.
And I was like, no, sweetie, we're not doing
Huh.
it now.
Should have charged 150. You should price it. up.
Like, the price ratchets up because. Mhm.
And
Did
I
you
know
ever
you're creative, so I know this.
Did you ever watch those
familiar.
documentaries on HBO that were back in the day as like Pimps Up, Hose Down? And where they had like girls on the stroll. It was all about girls on the stroll, and they would mic them, and they would you could hear the girls in the car with this guy, the guy, and it was so fucking weird. And the guy kept talking about he wanted her to take a spoon and stick it up his butt and eat his poop and all kinds of weird shit.
And some
But-
people have some weird things they have to hide.
She had to pretend that she was into it, She's like,
Yeah.
oh, I'd love to do that. And I was like, this is so bizarre. You guys I gotta find a link for this stuff, but they're great
Yeah.
documents. Would love them.
Yeah, please send them to us because that sounds right up our alley.
There is some weird stuff. And it does suck that you have to hide some, not the nefarious ones, but
How did you guys meet each other?
we work together.
That's how you guys work?
Yeah, I moved here from New Orleans and came all the way to Oregon.
It was real funny because I had just taken over running this whiskey bar. So it was like my first like bar managing job. So I was really determined to do a good job. And she came in to apply and she had her resume on like an iPad, which I just thought was
Because I
like,
didn't make a
well,
resume a lot.
well, shit, I think this is what cool city people do. So, and I'm reading her shit and she's like, she's bartended in New Orleans for, over a decade. She's done all this cool stuff. I knew that she knew like cool bar people who I kind of knew across the country. And it took me about 4 days of like sitting on this like idea of this resume being like, if I hire this bitch, she's probably going to take my job.
All right, yeah.
And I was like, you know what though? If I'm
No
not
interest.
not good enough at this to like maintain my position, then don't be a little bitch, Kalia. So I hired her. Well, I told the owners that we should hire her, and we did. And then it was the best decision that ever happened because
We were both awkward as fuck.
it's true.
I think we hide it well.
We
sometimes,
present
but-
well. We've got good bartender vibes where like again, behind a bar, like I can talk to literally anyone.
Mm.
If you put
Right.
me out in public,
At a party, I don't want to. I'm like,
please Jesus, you'll find me in the corner
Hey.
sucking down booze.
yeah.
I'd be like, please don't make me down to people.
Like, getting
I'm the same. Be a bartender a thing. It must be a thing. Because
yeah.
if
Yeah,
we all met each other at a party, we'd probably never talk to each other.
probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd all just stand in
I'll
each
actually talk to you. I would be like, that guy looks cool. Seriously.
No, we would think that from across the room and be like, we're not approaching
Right.
that. That would be weird.
I'd like to talk to them. Afraid to say do it. Those girls, they were cool looking.
They look super neat as I saw them across the room and never approached.
Right.
Them. It seems
Ah.
dangerous.
They're dangerous.
What made you leave New Orleans?
I just needed a change, more or less.
Did you like it down there, or did you get grossed out after a while?
I loved it down there. My I lived there for like 12, 13 years.
Yeah.
I love it. My dad still lives outside New Orleans. My sister still lives there. So I visit
Good.
often. Good buddies there, but Yeah, after a while, it wears on you. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful city. Really cool people, really cool traditions and stuff. But I just need a change. So I came out to the West Coast and went
Atida.
Lucky for me.
Yeah.
got it because I'm from the South. I'm talking about this.
You had to go tubing? Do you guys go tubing?
Oh, in New Orleans or outside?
No. And where you guys do stuff like tubing and
Kayaking recently.
kayaking?
We got an inflatable kayak named Shirley. Yesterday when we went, we forgot the inflatable seats, so I fell out, but I was fine.
So we had one set of oars for this inflatable kayak that seats 2 people. I had the bag of like the sundries, the cigarettes, the phones, and then I think I was playing music on Lauren's phone. So we're going down some rapids. Lauren's paddling. I'm just like holding the things, and then we hit this really big rapid, and I just sort of see her pop out of the boat. A life jacket followed her out of the boat, thankfully. But I'm like, well, I can do nothing for her. I'm just gonna keep the shit dry.
I remembered how you're supposed to fall in rapids. You put your feet forward and float the top.
Yep, she did great. She popped right back up.
Popped up. Our other roommate was like, "You're gonna be okay." And then
I was like, the
Khalil's
things are
got,
dry.
Khalil's got my new phone. Well, and then pop back in, and it was great.
Sounds freaky. You guys ever been to Austin?
Yeah, Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, plenty of times. One of my best friends is from there.
I like Austin. It's a nice town.
Keep
How
Austin.
about you? Have you been there, Kalia?
Have not. No, I've never been anywhere other than in airports like east of Nevada. Well, no, Chicago, obviously. But beyond that, that's the furthest I've gotten across the country. It's mostly just been West Coast based.
Yeah, our next
No.
plan is to take a road trip across the United States. Hopefully.
How about New York City? Lauren, you been?
Oh,
I've been there,
Wherever you've
yeah.
been. Yeah.
In New York.
That's a good town.
That's a good time. I like Chicago.
Thank you very much.
I do. I think Chicago people are like more personal.
Chicago's incredible. I was really
Right, we got
surprised.
off like got an Uber from the airport, and the guy was super nice.
Made friends with Jim, I think his name was.
That's the
Yeah.
Midwest. The
Yes.
Midwest.
Absolutely,
Chicago is like a small town of New York City. I think.
exactly.
I like that.
Yeah.
New York's cool. I like New York. It's but Chicago's my favorite.
I went to. Did you ever go to South Padre? You ever go to like spring break in South Padre?
I never went to. Did you go to college in Texas?
No, but I went to spring break in Texas.
Oh
so.
no, no. We normally would go to like either Florida or Florida because it was hilarious.
Go-
But I've heard of stories of.
we went down there with. I went with my roommates, and we didn't have a place to stay. My mom was a flight attendant, so we had free flights, and when like the drop of, we just figured, fuck it, let's go. And so we figured we had some friends coming down in like 5 days, and we could stay with them. And until then, I rented a car. We figured we could rent a car, we could sleep in our car, or we could figure it out when we get down there. You know what I mean? So I ended up bartering people with, rides. We'll give you a ride to your place if you let us use your shower, blah, blah, blah. And we also brought 6 pounds of mushrooms with us.
Oh my God.
So,
Bell the ball.
right. It was, so we were we were at the main part of the beach there, and we had gotten this job with Corona as tanning consultants. Don't ask me how this happened, but we were working
How did it? You just don't remember how that happened? You're just like, here.
my roommate was a real character, and he would get us in situations all the time. But he, I don't know how we started talking to this guy at the Corona booth, but he became like our best friend. We hung out with him every day, and he ended up hiring us. And we were just tanning, so we'd tell people what kind of their skin, according to their skin, what kind of lotion they would have to use. And we didn't know shit about it, but it worked. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And we went to Mexico, and I saw a donkey show, like a donkey lady.
How was that?
I felt bad for the donkey. Like that also exciting. It was like something like, oh yeah, let's go. And like, not even a minute, like 30 seconds into it, and it's like, let's get out of here. This is
You always think it's gonna be exciting, and then you walk out just depressed.
it was. That was another thing. It was kind of like the live sex show in Amsterdam, but different.
Yeah.
Just a little bit different.
Have you been to Mexico?
Yes.
Barely.
Yeah, that was weird. We were at that little border town. We ended up buying. My roommate bought drugs from a federale, and it was just very bizarre. It was a very bizarre.
Oh, that rate.
But one was funny though. One time we bartered these guys to use their showers, and it turns out that this was back in the before ecstasy was illegal. They had 1,000 hits of ecstasy with them.
Jesus.
So we got together with our mushrooms and their ecstasy. And there was one night, they had these huge clubs down there that hold like thousands of people. They're like big warehouses. They
Yeah.
have pool, shit like that.
Huh.
I've never seen anything like that. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do. I never been to one. They're like, I mean, yeah, you
They're
host
like-
a random party and then you have like balloons with.
Yeah. But we turned the entire island on one night. We got everybody so fucking high all over the place.
Yeah.
It would wish somebody would film it. I was back then. It was funny though. That would have been a good video to have. Ended up singing one of those karaoke video things. Do you remember those? You would sing and then they would have like a background behind you.
Yeah.
Video karaoke.
Uh-huh.
I ended up doing "It's My Party" and I'll cry if I want to.
Did you have a dramatic cry on stage too?
No, but I did it really deadpan and it was broadcast. And I was supposed to get a videotape of it. That was the whole point. Was I going to have this videotape? It was going to be real funny. And I got home and I popped the videotape in and it was blank. And I think they gave me the wrong one. So someone has a videotape and this, like, who's this fucking guy singing "It's My Party" and I'll cry if I want to.
I love that shit. We have to find it. We're
That
gonna have to,
lucky
like-
motherfucker.
If that ever would pop up, that would be unbelievable.
That would be amazing. Absolutely.
Or recreation. That could be fun too.
Yeah, you could recreate it. I'm sure there's a cool background.
I've done that many times. Yeah. Are you guys working tonight?
Nope.
No, it's Sunday.
You don't work on Sundays?
Nope.
It's the Lord's Day.
It's Lord's Day.
Do you guys know who Rich Little is?
I don't think so.
He was Rich Little.
Rich Little was a famous comedian in the 60s and 70s and 80s. Carson, he was a guy that does other voices. What do you call those guys?
I'm like,
Not a
oh,
ventriloquist.
ventriloquists. No. Impersonators, I guess.
Yeah, he's a celebrity. That's what he is. So we have our own whiskey we make our own vodka and gin at the bar. And we're coming out with our own whiskey, and we hired this Rich Little. If you don't know who he is, it's not going to mean anything, but he came in and shoot us some commercials at the bar, and he was very, very bizarre. He was very wax. He was like a wax figurine, He's like 8 now. He's like 85 years old, He's
Did
kind
you
of
have like a lot of plastic surgery?
yes. He's very like stretched back, and his hair was black,
Gee.
black, and he was like, and he just wouldn't. Just very bizarre. What you have to Google Rich Little when this
Look
is
it up.
over, or you look him up on YouTube. He's a I'll send you a link to the commercials and stuff.
Also,
Which
send us
I
some
did.
of your books too.
Oh,
oh
he's
yeah,
a character. Yeah, it's found. Oh my.
That's familiar. Oh yeah, yeah. What's
Yeah, found him on the Google.
Yeah.
He looks stretched.
yep.
Rich Little show. Ooh. Yeah, please send us a link to your books too, so we can promote
I
it.
will. One is called. I don't even know what the fuck they're called anymore. It's been so long. Dive Right In, I think. It's a dive bar etiquette book.
Oh my God.
More like a brochure, really. It's only like 15, 20 pages, and the other one is called I can't think what the other one's called. It's been so long since
Okay, we'll find them. I just want to we
Yeah.
can promote them. So there
Dive
we go.
right in. I found you on Amazon.
oh yeah, hey, that's me.
I also have a question. When you go to new places, is one of the first places you stop at a bar, especially if you're new to it?
Always.
Just like meet somebody, right?
Yes.
That's what we do. We met the most interesting people just by we always stop at a bar when we go to a new spot. Just to
How do you judge the bar? Do you judge it by the outside, or do you research it, or how before you go?
I mean, when we're in Ecuador, we can really do that much research. We
Kind
just
of
kinda
combo pack. Just
yeah.
like whatever looks
Kinda
kind
look
of
at the people
shitty.
inside there.
Right.
If it looks
I like
like a
dive
shitty
bars.
dive bar, we're into it. I just
Yeah.
ordered your book.
No, thank you.
Hey, sure thing.
We're gonna read it.
I I'm
Yeah,
the same way.
I like a shitty dive bar. Those are the cool ones that are. We went to one the other day that was like
We went to a dive bar.
like a dive bar.
It's called Branding Iron. It's like full carpeted floor, carpeted walls in the bathroom, which is an
Pretty sure it
interesting
was
choice.
pretty white. So.
Yeah, I mean they had a shuffleboard table and a great deal of plaques from people winning shuffleboard tournaments, which was cool, I guess.
But we walked
Was-
in, the whole place was like skeet.
Was it hillbilly-ish or what?
It was like white trash to the max, like
Oregon hillbilly.
beer and wine only, which is
Yeah.
fine, cash only, which is fine, but just like bartender had about 7 teeth. Every head in that place just like turned like on a swivel.
Yeah.
Just like
Oh, wait.
because we
Yeah.
went in looking nice as we do, because when we exit our house, we like to try to present well. 'Cause it's rare. So it was just like
You're
this
like,
old like half Chinese woman
it's
was just like
settling up in the
drinking her Seagram's wine coolers out of the bottle, just like giving us stank eye the whole half hour we were there.
They tried
You
to
didn't,
order like
you didn't have to buzz in. Those are always good bars where you have to buzz in.
Oh yeah, I love those.
Yeah,
I love the buzzing bar.
I found a buzzer. There's several buzzers in the place that I work at now. I found a new one. They moved a cooler out of the way and there was a buzzer behind the cooler. What the fuck is this doing here? Told me it's so it's very weird. I'm afraid to push.
Awesome.
Afraid they still might be connected to something and someone might come yell at me about it, you know?
You're like, don't
Why-
hit the button.
You're like, did you touch this button?
Who's some old guy?
Who touched the button?
That buzzer hasn't rang in 40 years.
You've rung the poltergeist back into the bar with your pressing of the buzzer. Nightmares. Stuff of nightmares. Good old buzzer.
I tried. The only bars I don't like to go to when I go to a new city is Irish bars.
Why is
So-
that?
I don't know because I figure they're all kind of universal. I mean, they're all kind of the same place. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I would rather try and find something more.
They always have like Guinness Coast.
Yeah. They always have stuff on the walls. You know, like so they're all kind of like copies of each other. You know,
Yeah.
I'd rather try something different. You know, look, the weirder the better. You know.
What's the weirdest dive bar you've been to?
Oh man, I'd have to think about that for a second. Weirdest I was at a place in New York City. I went on my first night there. Same thing. I went walk. The first thing I did in New York City was I went to this bar, and it was a basement bar, so you had to go downstairs, and it was like there was like two of every type of person in this bar. The bartender had a mesh tank top on and a cowboy hat, the guy, and then there was weird. There's leather guys. There was businessmen. There was like a little bit of everything, and I think
Yeah.
also because city and I was, you know, it was just really weird. But I can't think of like I have to think about that for like, you know, I don't. Maybe the place I work at,
Say what now?
the place I work at might be the weirdest.
That's been my favorite dive bar I've been to in a very, very long time.
There's some weirdos in there. I got to tell you.
Yeah.
Every night there was one girl came in with she had a see-through shirt on, and I mean see-through. It wasn't just a hint, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She kept wanting to go in the basement. Will you take me in the basement? And I said, no, I'm not going to take you in the basement. Why not? Take me into the basement. I'm like, why do you want to go in the basement? I just want to go in the basement. Take me in the basement. I'm like, nope, not going to take you in the basement. The fuck? Why?
Did you
I mean,
find out what she wanted to do in the basement?
no.
Was it you in the basement she wanted to?
Maybe, I don't know, but I don't know if she was dressing that way hoping that I would take her in the basement. The basement, you know, it's a basement. It's disgusting. It's nothing to
Also, I didn't know you had a basement. Otherwise,
I
I
didn't
would be
either.
that chick and be like, so,
see.
friend,
That's where we keep our
show me
That's-
around.
our chickens for our hard-boiled eggs in the basement. You know, I tell people that and they believe me.
We hand make our own pickling juice for.
Then they say, show me. I go, oh, here, look, here's a picture. And I have a picture of these chickens smoking cigarettes. So I show them pictures of that. And they're like, no way. Is that really?
You're like, no, it's real.
People are very gullible. You ever notice that?
Yeah. And you say it with a deadpan face and you don't break character, and they're like, well, I guess it must be true.
Yeah.
It's my favorite thing to do. Just say hot nonsense and see what people believe. Because
used to
more
work-
often than not, they'll just roll with it.
They worked at a place that had a photo booth in it, an old timey photo booth. And I used to tell people that there was a little Puerto Rican midget in there developing the film. It took a real long time. Be like, what? What does he get paid?
You're like, minimum wage, she's good.
We
Now
just
they
open the door and then
I'd knock on her, let's go. These people are in a hurry. And then sometimes it would just be timing and it would spit out right away. And they'd be like,
That's so great.
you always have a good dive bar, especially if there's some kind of pickling liquid on the bar,
Yeah.
like something in it.
there was a
Oh,
here that sold pickled eggs, and that was always a mystery. You know,
How to pickle? I mean, eggs kind of. I have a weird
are you
relationship.
grossed out by?
Say what now?
Are you grossed out by eggs?
Certainly, pickled eggs for sure. Absolutely.
what's wrong with you?
Have you had a pickled egg?
Yeah,
Would you eat like a pickled pig's foot?
probably.
Okay, well, we got some places to go. Well,
I would, yeah.
I wouldn't. I'm too scared.
Honestly, there's
No.
almost nothing I wouldn't eat if put in front of me.
You said
I've seen bartenders like literally pick out the
Yeah.
egg with
yes,
their hands. And you're like,
true. That's how it was done in the old days.
mhm.
I
You
mean,
know,
that vinegar will probably kill any germs on their paws. You're probably fine.
Are you grossed out by other people's feet?
No, feet don't bother me.
Do they bother you, Julia?
No,
I don't want to lick feet. I just
Some people get really freaked out. Like, you know, if you touch them with your foot and they get all freaked out. I never
That's
understood the
I mean,
fear of
it's another body part that, depending on the person. I mean, some people I wouldn't want any part of their body to touch me.
Mama used to beat him with her feet.
I
she
get
was
foot
she had
smacked.
some kind of traumatic. Used to get foot smacked. Some probably trauma that happened in their childhood. I have no idea.
I don't know. I've got like ballet feet, so I've just got like crinkled toes and weird calluses that will never quite.
you used to be a ballet dancer.
I did, yeah, for about 8
Oh,
years.
that's cool.
Yeah, it was neat. I was just never flexible enough.
Did you do it professionally?
No, I went to the coolest thing I did was when I was about 18 is I went to LA in Anaheim. There's basically the West Coast version of ABT, the American Ballet Theater, that has a company on the West Coast. So I went and danced for a month there. And so it was like 6 hours a day, 10 to 12 hours a day you're dancing. And this
Wow.
is how fucking stubborn my body is after all that time, I still could not do a full split. I can spin very fast, I can jump
can't
very
do a
high,
split. Fuck that.
but I just do not have a body that's made to be flexible. I'm short
Me
and
neither.
muscular and can run far.
You know, they had the Joffrey in Chicago. You did go by. Did you when you were?
We need to get back. We didn't have enough time to do everything.
I mean,
we
yeah,
wanted.
4.5 days is not enough. So we'll definitely be back sooner than later.
You need to I'll hook you guys up some good spots.
Yes.
Another
Pretty
reason like going to bars is great because you meet all the local people who
It is- What happened? What would have happened if you didn't meet me? What would have happened with your trip in Chicago?
It wouldn't have been nearly as cool.
It would have been way less cool. Seriously, honest to God, way less cool.
You're the one place we went back to twice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And you-
It's the best. Yeah, we just kept raving about you after you left. Like that guy's amazing.
I still do. I'm like, you would not believe. We go to this bar for the second time.
that guy's
we're in
got
her mom jeans.
stories. He's yeah, the
I
mom-
got like a full
her
outfit.
jam jams that you got.
They're not jam jams.
Stars
It's
are not
a,
jam
it's a
jams.
beautiful Hawaiian outfit.
Yeah,
Was treating you pretty good.
Dude,
she
I've
gets
worn,
compliments on it all the time.
worn that out more than 4 times since I've been back.
I thought you'd be wearing it today. To be honest with you, I was looking forward to it.
I mean, I put it on now, but now it would seem performative, so I can't.
That's
But next
okay.
time I see you.
Next time, save it for next time.
It's gotten a lot of use, I'll tell you that. So thank you so
Like-
much for that kind
Would you like? I tried to fit into it, but I couldn't get into it. So,
I know, I love that. Oh, did you take pictures?
of me trying to get into it,
Huh?
God damn it,
No.
Tony.
I thought about it, but I thought no.
Well, next time we come visit, I'm bringing the outfit, and I'm gonna hope I
Okay,
can.
I think yeah. Okay.
She's gonna take you down to the basement and I see.
Be like, Tony, I need you to come to the basement, put this outfit on for me. Nothing weird's gonna happen. Just us and the chickens.
Sure, that'll be awesome.
Well, it's like Tony, thank you so much.
You're welcome. It was very nice to talk to you guys.
You can talk to us anytime. We're always around. But no, this is good.
Yeah.
These are some good stories, and I'm excited about.
Super appreciate you.
If I can think of any other ones, I'll let you know.
Yeah, let us
100%.
know.
We can do this again.
We can always do this. And I'm really looking forward to. I'm so happy that you wrote books. That's so cool.
I'm so happy to receive yours on July 28th.
Well, please let me know what you think.
Oh,
I will.
fucking will.
I want
bud.
a full review.
Absolutely.
And we will we'll let you know when your episode comes up.
Okay, thanks. Love you.
Love you. Have a good
Miss you
day.
so much.